Hello, Reds from around the world. Welcome to Off United. I am your host, Joe O'Neill, and I am absolutely delighted to be previewing the upcoming Premier League game we are playing against Southampton. We have prepped for this so long that we actually got in touch with Gary's work and had him assigned to live in Southampton, to learn how they spoke, to learn how they walked and how they talked, to get the inside knowledge. So we're going to go straight to Gary now. What have you learned since living in Southampton?
Not much.
Deadly. Okay. It worked last time. It worked last time when we played them in November.
What they normally say is if you support United, why don't you support your local team? Nonsense. Blah, 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 blah.
That's true.
That sort of thing. And also the grey shirts when we lost 6-2.
Yeah. 5-3.
But we still won the league that year.
Yeah, and we've actually, won a trophy instead of just losing in the odd FA Cup final or League Cup final.
Exactly
so,
that. I mean, they do go on about 1976 as well quite a lot.
Wait, was that when I can't remember who our keeper was at the time? Was it where he got fouled? Or was that against someone else?
Yeah.
Bobby Stokes went through, didn't he, and scored?
Yeah.
Wankers.
Bobby Stokes goal. Yeah.
Remember it well, don't you, James?
Like it was yesterday, honestly.
It was like Bobby who? Bobby
Bobby from Mino, yeah, okay. But we are going to be discussing the upcoming game against Southampton. We basically covered it with Gary there, so that we don't need to talk. We can just talk about whatever we want now anyway. But get your comments in the live chat. If you have any questions, we will do our best to answer them as well. And wherever you're watching, please come over to YouTube and check us out. We will be, once this video gets to 20 likes, wait, let me put the banner up so I can just remind everyone. Once I get to 20 likes, I'll be asking a question. If the first 5 people to answer that question correctly will be put into a draw to win some wonderful Football Town merchandise. So we'll be reminding that a couple of times throughout the video, but make sure to give us 20 likes or else I'll be a very upset man, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to, do something here. But yeah, like I said, thanks so much for joining us. We're going to go around the table and get everyone's thoughts. We're going to be discussing a little bit, touching on the Arsenal game that we had the other day, but only on what points we can take from that to bring into the Southampton game. So we're going to look for positives. Stuart, we'll go to you first since you're right beside me. What positives can we take from the Arsenal game to go into this home fixture against Southampton tomorrow night?
Well, we didn't lose. That's the main thing. Yes, we didn't score, but we didn't lose. I suppose from a confidence point of view, if it wasn't for this season, in past seasons, a draw at Highbury or the Emirates, as it now is a good result. What I'd like to see Solskjaer do is be a little bit more aggressive in our play tomorrow night. Southampton are very tight. They're very tough in midfield. I think Romeo's back now, isn't he, from injury? So he'll add a bit of bite into their midfield. So I don't want him to go in with 2 holding players. I want him to go with a single holding player, Pogba and another. For me, it would be Donny van der Beek. I'd still pick Rashford. I'd take Martial out of the equation for a couple of weeks. Give him a bit of a rest. I'd play Cavani up top and I'd play Bruno alongside Rashford. With regards to the back 4, Lindelof, we know, is clearly injured still, so I'd bring Bailly in. In goal, do you know what? I don't think it matters whether it's De Gea or Henderson. I think Henderson's absolutely superb. And then Shaw and Wan-Bissaka. And that's the kind of lineup I would go with. But I'd like to see us on the front foot right from the beginning, take chances, take risks. And if the game's not panning out, I want to see Ollie. I love Ollie to bits. He's a club legend. I'm not on this Ollie and Ollie out brigade. I don't agree with it. You support your manager, and I'm right behind him. But I'd like to see him have a bit more. I'm going to, balls at about 50, 60 minutes. If the game isn't panning out, and change it. Because games are won off the bench. We've seen it plenty of times. He's won games off the bench himself. He knows the impact of a fresh pair of legs or a striker, or just a fresh body on the pitch can have. He knows more than anybody what he can do because he's done it himself. If we sit back, if we play conservative, if we don't, start on the front foot and we don't play any kind of aggression, we may come unstuck tomorrow night because Southampton have been decent this year.
Yeah, I think that's Sorry, I just had to tweet there. I think that's an absolutely fair point that you're making there. I'm going to go straight on to James with that. From the Arsenal game, what positives can you take from it?
I think the chance creation's got to be a positive that you take, because there's not many big games where we create those sort of chances. Do you know what I mean? The two that Cavani missed were very poor, and the Rashford one was poor as well. But we got into some really great positions, and on any other day, it's fine margins. We could have won that game 2 or 3-0. So I think that was good. The fact that we limited them to a few sort of half chances, really. I suppose Willian's was the best chance for the end of the game, and that was blocked by Wan-Bissaka. So that says a lot. They're a good attacking team, so to limit them was good. We played well against their press. They looked like they were going to press pretty intently, but we did well from the offset against that, which should set us in good stead for the Southampton game. They're a very press heavy team, so I'm hoping we play McTominay in that midfield, because he seems our most press resistant midfielder. And yeah, there's more positives than you'd probably think. I know it's easy to get a bit downtrodden by the result and the fact that it's now 1 point from 2 games, but it's there are positives to take. We're not in as bad a situation as everyone thinks we are, and I think we've got a very good chance of winning this game.
Yeah, well, we should have a very good chance, considering we are playing at home and we have already beaten Southampton this season, and Southampton are kind of dithering away a little bit at the moment. Gary, you are muted. I'm going to unmute you, because it was on about 15 occasions last night where you were probably saying something very profound that unfortunately was lost to time. So Gary, looking back on the Arsenal game and towards Southampton game, what positives can you take from that game that can lead us into this game coming up tomorrow?
We had chances, obviously, like the other guys said. So it was not as if we were just sitting back. It's just one of them games. But I mean, I think I said last night, we're just going through a blip. I'd like to think that's all it is. I mean, tomorrow's game will tell us really how, if it is still a blip, or is it more of a blip if we don't get a result tomorrow. For me, the key tomorrow is don't give away too many free kicks or corners, because Ward-Prowse, for me, he's dead ball specialist. He's key for them. If we give away silly free kicks like we did against Arsenal in key areas, he's going to punish us, without a doubt.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We'll be touching on the threat Southampton have in a very short space of time. What I can take from the Arsenal game, I unfortunately couldn't see it because I work in a hospital, so you can't give out to me. You can try, but I will just say again, I work in a hospital, frontline worker, got vaccinated. I am better than all of you people, and modest as well. But unfortunately, I couldn't actually see the full game, but I did from watching the highlights. I think I don't think there's a real issue anymore with our defense whatsoever. I can see that the fact that sometimes teams are getting easy enough chance. Like, I did think we were showing up a little bit against Sheffield United, but I just think that was also a makeshift sort of defense with Axel coming in and stuff like that. But against Arsenal, it was resolute defending. They did get a couple of chances, but every team's going to get a chance. But it was really heroic stuff at some points, what we were doing. So I have to give full credit there. Keeping a clean sheet is always good. And for me, that is a good building block of any good team, is having a solid defense. And it looks like, considering where we were in September, losing 6-1 to Spurs, and where are they now? Have to always laugh at Mourinho. Have to. Sorry, I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant, and please, guys who are watching, you can make fun of Mourinho as well. I love the fact that he's gone Mourinho in his first season at Spurs. It's in his first full season. I'm glad that it looks like people are doing Jose out. Like, he was showing up, or trying to show up, the job that Ollie was doing, and saying, look, me getting second at United shows how much of a good manager I was. It might be my greatest ever achievement. I love the fact that it's fallen. I love the fact. And they were saying, oh, it's not just Kane, it's not just Son. It is just Kane. It is just Son. He's a waste of a manager at this point, and I couldn't be happier for him. Still, thanks for the 2 trophies, but you bullied half the team and alienated everyone, so you can go fuck yourself. So we touched on the positive there. For me, it is a defense, but we do have to touch on the negatives that we have to be wary of to bring us into the Arsenal game as well. So we'll go to Stuart. We'll go to you first. What are things that would make you a bit worried going into the Southampton game from what you saw against Arsenal?
It's our flow. Our flow at the minute is just a little bit out of kilter. We don't have any swagger. at the minute. We look nervous every time we're receiving the ball, apart from Pogba and Bruno, really. We touched on it last night about the decision making of Rashford in particular, and Martial. Cavani wasn't on his best form. We've got to just, as I said, really, we've just got to make sure that we're sharp, our passing's crisp. We're picking up their runners at any one time, because they do run through the middle. The points about free kicks at the edge of our box are absolutely paramount, because I think against Arsenal, we gave 3 or 4 stupid little niggly free kicks away in and around the box area, and we need to eradicate that. The more I'm speaking, the more I'm a bit more confident that we can do something tomorrow. But, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Any team who's got a resilience, who's got a determination, who's got a will to stick together is very, very difficult to beat. And Southampton have got that, Hassan Huntel, or whatever his name is, I think that's it, has really transformed them. Southampton really transformed them. I mean, when you look at the types of Romeu, he's what I class as a meat and 2 veg player. He's just very, very basic, hard in the tackle, get it and give it. A proper CDM, that's all he does. And you've got a bit of creativity in Ward-Prowse. So we must get a hold of the middle. So whoever he plays, I think he'll probably play Fred, Pogba. Don't know about McTominay. You may even play Matic. I don't know. But whoever plays in that middle has got to get a hold of it. I said before that Sheffield United would come and suffocate us, which they did. And we've got to make sure we suffocate Southampton. And if we suffocate them in the middle of the park, we can get at them through our fullbacks. Yeah. And then hopefully Cavani's, going to pop 1 or 2.
Yeah, he's in my fantasy football and currently my captain, so he better start scoring goals for me. James, go to you next. You were quite positive from what you saw from the Arsenal game. You think there's more good than bad, but focusing on the negative, what has you worried going into the Southampton game?
I'm pretty similar to Stuart. I think that our flow and our intensity in attack is just missing a little bit. I think whether that's just the players are getting a bit tired or what, there just doesn't seem to be that same sort of electric pace up front that we've seen so often from this team. But I think we sort of kick into life after we go a goal down. We saw exactly the same in the opposite fixture against Southampton, where we went 2-0 down and finally we started playing. So I think whether that's a coaching problem or a mentality problem, I think sooner or later they need to really knuckle down and sort it out. And whether that's this game, I don't know. But I just think if Southampton get an early goal, that could be the best thing for us, which is not a good thing that you should be looking out for, really, is it? I think we need to be, especially from Sheffield United and the Arsenal game, we need to be on it from the first whistle, because we just haven't been. We've looked so lackluster and just unwilling to attack. So I think that's the one big thing that needs to change, because if we don't, Southampton are more than good enough to punish us, aren't they?
Yeah, you're absolutely dead right. And guys, please get wherever you're watching, come over to YouTube, check us out. You have an opportunity to win Football Town merchandise. If once we get to 20 likes, I will ask a question, and whoever gets the question, first 5 people get the question right, will be put into a draw to win Football Town merchandise. And Gary, I'm going to unmute you. Same question for you, Gary. Looking towards this game, but looking at the previous game against Arsenal on Sunday, and everyone in the chat, if you can get your thoughts in as well, where are you most concerned from what you saw on Sunday?
I think was just giving away the free kicks, obviously, is what we mustn't do tomorrow night, especially like I've already mentioned with Ward-Prowse, because he, like I said, just dead ball specialists, whether it's a free kick, even corners. I mean, I think when we played them last season at home, they got us on a goal and obviously equalised last 5 minutes, was it? From a
last
corner?
kick of the game, yeah.
We don't want that again.
Corner,
we really don't want that again tomorrow. Like Stu said, we get off a really good start, hopefully. But they are a very physical side. They are probably one of the most physical sides in the league, I'd say. And I would like to see Greenwood on the right tomorrow with Cavani up top and obviously Rashford on the left. I think Martial needs to be on the bench because he's just not performing at the moment.
I completely agree with you, and considering we do need a win and we do need to start scoring goals, I don't think it's a time to kind of just give Martial a game just because we need to. Yes, for me, my biggest concern is, I think, touching on what most of these guys said, we just need to be better going forward. Rashford needs to play on the left. Martial needs, I don't, like Martial isn't a number 9. He might wear the number 9, but he's not number 9. And we need to start scoring goals. So we need Rashford in his best position, which is on the left. And then with Cavani up front. And then whether it's Greenwood or whoever on the right-hand side, I don't care. But we need to start getting a system together where we know who our front three is. And for me, it's not including Martial. Sorry, Demi. So we need to work on getting them out there, getting them playing together and getting them used to each other. And Cavani is our best finisher by a country mile, which is depressing me because he's 33. And it would be a lot better if he was a bit younger. But Greenwood can learn from that. So we need to get him and Greenwood on the pitch together. For me, that's the biggest thing we should be looking forward to this, and the biggest thing that concerned me against Arsenal is just not finishing chances. But Stuart, coming to you now. You've basically had a love in for Southampton there every time I've come to you. So I'm going to give you full reign on this one. Southampton, what are their biggest threats that we should be concerned about coming into this game tomorrow night?
So the biggest threats are they'll press us really quick. I always watch Premier League football, and it reminds me of under 6s, under 7s, some teams where they just dart about all over the pitch, closing down our men 2 or 3 players at a time, and then still get back into position. It's almost like sheep following, the football around, but it works for them. I said to you about the simplicity of Romeo. You've got to watch out for Danny Ings. He looked a bit sharp against Villa the other night. I thought he was very unlucky not to have had the equaliser granted. What was it? I think it was a toenail, wasn't it? Offside or something stupid like that. Yeah. But we can get at them at the back. They're not great at the back. They're very good going forward and pressing, and they're defensive. They'll play with a low block as usual, but they're not great at the back. Rashford needs a goal. If Martial comes on or he plays, he needs a goal. As I said, I wouldn't go with the front 3. I think we can get at them better if we've got 2 floating players behind Cavani and Rashford and Bruno. And the reason for Rashford having a floating role, he needs something new to his game. He's obviously piss bored out on the right-hand side, or he just doesn't want to be there. So give him something new to do. Don't just put him back out on the left. Give him something new to do. If he can drift from left to right, replace Cavani occasionally, get in the box, just do something a little bit different that is going to make the 2 centre halves of Southampton wonder who they're supposed to be marking. I played centre half as well. I mean, it's a pain in the neck if you've got a little busybody that's floating around inside you, because you want somebody you can just get hold of, wrestle away with. Cavani offers that. So Southampton, for me, they are going to be dangerous. They are going to come at us. They've got a real chance of getting Europe this year, a real good chance of getting Europe. They're probably, I think, better than Everton at the minute. I thought they were better than Villa the other night. I know Villa got the win. And they'll cause us problems. The last couple of games we've had, I think we've really struggled against them. So, that's the reason I would go for the 2 behind Cavani, just to mix it up a bit.
Yeah, that's more than fair. And we have not had a good run against Southampton as of recent years. They've beaten us 2 years in a row. I think we beat them then, and then they drew, or did we not? I think we haven't won at home against them in 3 years. Am I right?
It is something like that, yeah.
I think the last time we beat them at home was Zlatan scored a penalty. It was Zlatan's first home game. That could be right, I think.
Yeah, it's a while ago. I think we've really struggled against them.
But we did beat them in the League Cup final, and I was at that game, and it was class. So that's all that matters. That's all that matters. Jamie's here. Thanks so much, Jamie. Yes, 3 years. What's Jacob with? Massive test for all the coaches, players. We are expected to win this game. We are expected to win this game. We're expected to beat nearly. We beat them 3-2 with Lukaku and Pereira. Was that at home now, Jacob? Just make sure that's what we're talking. We're talking about at home, because I know we've beaten them a couple of times in St. Mary's, but it hasn't been the easiest time bringing them to Old Trafford for whatever reason. But James, coming to you now. We're coming up against Southampton. We've struggled against them before. Is it going to be a struggle this time? And what are their biggest threats?
It'd be stupid to say it's not going to be a struggle. There's no easy games in this league, and Southampton are probably one of the hardest when you really look down into it. I think there's only a few mistakes in the squad here and there that are the reason that they've dropped down to 10th. So, they're going to be a real solid outfit that's going to be tough to beat. I think their biggest threat comes from that the two wide players and the strikers, in the fact that they're one of the best in the league as a unified outlet sort of thing in terms of pressing. The ability that they've got to win the ball in dangerous areas is just ridiculous. I watched the FA Cup game against Arsenal, and in the first half, I'd run out of fingers to count with the amount of times they won the ball inside Arsenal's third. And the only thing that was missing was, the clinical ability to put the chances away. I think because Danny Ings works so hard in winning the ball back, he finds himself out of position when those chances come his way. So I think that's what we've really got to look to try and avoid. That's why I was saying earlier about playing Scott McTominay, because he's probably the most pressure resistant. I think Pogba, you need to get him a bit more advanced if you want him in that role. I think he just hangs onto the ball a little bit too long for playing against a side that's as strict as Southampton are. And I just think Fred's distribution isn't quite good enough. So I think McTominay's got to go in there as long as he's got rid of those laxatives that Van der Beek put in his drink. But I think that's got to be the main threat. Obviously, they've got goals in the side. If they've got all the defenders available, they're strong at the back as well. So we've just, I suppose that the most dangerous thing for us is how, what would you call it? How we go into each game looking sort of, I can't think of the word now. We just sort of underestimate each opposition. Do you know what I mean? We go into the game a little bit lackluster, and we will get punished like we did against Sheffield United. So we are probably our biggest threat. But take nothing away from that Southampton front line, because they will cause us problems.
Yeah, did you actually hear what was announced today? And Gary is just transformed into a black square. It's a good look. It suits him, to be fair. That I don't know who runs this thing, the VAR thing or whatever it was, but they said that there was mistakes in the game against Sheffield United. Martial's goal should have stood, and their first goal shouldn't have stood. And Gary is so distressed by that he had to walk off. He had to get out. But that is very, very frustrating.
Well, that's concerning, because VAR was brought in to stop that, to completely eradicate that. So if they've re-looked at the game, the Professional Gaming Association have re-looked at the game and notified and seen these two errors, what's the VAR ref doing then? Why has he seen the two errors? I mean, he works for the PGMOL. What's going on? Ridiculous.
Yeah, in the second incident. Welcome back, Gary. Good to see you.
Sorry.
It's all right. In the second incident, he blew the whistle before it was given, or something along those lines, before the ball went in. So you can't
get a VAR. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, just stupid.
But Gary, now that you're back, we're going to go to you. What are your worries of Southampton? What is their biggest threat? And do you still see this as a victory, or coming our way?
Last season, we played them at Old Trafford, and obviously when we played them recently away this season, we didn't come up against Danny Ings, did we? I think that's going to be the threat.
Oh, I think we did.
Did we?
I think we did. Yeah.
No, he was out injured.
Yeah, I thought so. So he's going to be one of the threats. Obviously, I think he'll be the key. Well, him and Ward-Prowse are the two main men, I think. Romero is it
Romeo?
Romeo.
It's Romeo. Yeah, Romeo.
That's it. Yeah. Again, he's solid. He's no nonsense midfielder. And like you said, do we put McTominay up against him, or do we put Matic up against him? I'm not too sure. But no, Ings for me he's jack in the box. He'll do a lot of running tomorrow. He's for me, he's the key threat along with Ward-Prowse.
That's absolutely fair. Sorry, go on. Who was just something to say?
Yeah, don't forget, if they win tomorrow, they elevate themselves to 6th, just like that. That's how close this league is. And this is the reason we cannot afford to slip up tomorrow night. City are playing so well at the minute. They've got that kind of arrogance back. Liverpool looked pretty good yesterday. It pains me to say it. It really does pain me. But they look good. If we've got any aspirations of winning this title, we've got to kick on again from tomorrow night.
Absolutely. And we'll go to James. How vital is this that we do get a win? Do you consider that we're in bad form, or is it just good to get back going with it?
I think 2 games wouldn't suggest we're in bad form. I think it's just a little bit of a blip. You know, both games you're talking fine margins again, aren't you? I think we get the refereeing decision against Sheffield United. We beat them. We put away one of our chances against Arsenal. We beat them, and we're talking about how incredible this unbeaten run is, aren't we? So I don't think we're in bad form at all. I think we've been a bit unlucky, but then maybe luck's caught up to us as well. So you just got to look at it as a clean slate. I think it's a really, really important game. We beat Southampton. You saw what that did for our confidence last time around. It was a big win away from home. If we get the same result at home, I think we can really kick on. It'll just sort of reignite the players, I'd imagine. I imagine they're a little bit down after this week. So I just, I can't speak for the players. I don't know what's going to happen, but you'd like to think that's what happens. So I think I think it is a must-win game because we're very close to dropping out the top 4 at the minute. It's all like you said earlier. It's very tight. So, it's probably as important as the Arsenal game in reality. I know the Arsenal game's built up by the rival fans, but in terms of our season, this is probably just as big.
Gary, for you, how important is this game? Is it a must-win?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't even think we can afford to draw anymore. It's so tight up there. I mean, luckily, Leicester, who would have thought Leeds would have beaten Leicester away from home? It was an unbelievable result. I mean, they've done us a favour, really. As much as I hate Leeds, they beat Leicester for us. So there's only a point in that. And then obviously, is it a point? They're a point behind us, and what, Liverpool behind us as well? A point as well, was it, or 2?
Yeah. Point.
So we really cannot afford a draw. I mean, our goal difference is another issue as well. Again, some people saying on here, we can afford to, we do better by letting the away team score first or whatever. We can't even we're shipping goals left, right and centre. We can't keep doing that. City's goal difference is effectively another point as it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, look, City just seem to go on strength to strength. I think for me, the only time we can really catch up on them is when the Champions League kicks in and they realise they don't give a shit about the league and they just want to win the Champions League, and that's it. Stuart,
they're not going to win that.
Oh, well, we can only hope and pray. Stuart, I haven't asked you this yet. Is this a must-win tomorrow?
Yeah, totally agree with the lads. It is completely must-win. We're 3 points behind City now. They've got a game in hand, so it could move out to 7. Scousers are right behind us. West Ham are pushing us. Leicester are pushing us. Yeah, we must win tomorrow. Ollie's got to pick a side who's got that, going to have that grit and determination. We can't keep shipping goals. We can't rely on that to wake us up. We have rode our luck. Everybody's spoken about it on this channel the last few weeks. And we need to push on again now. We really need to push on. I would say one thing though as well, and I would, and Ollie's come out today and said we're not going to see Ahmad, until maybe 3-4 weeks down the line. But I remember a very raw, young Cristiano Ronaldo coming on against, I think it was Bolton for his debut at Old Trafford. You just never know, and I think maybe somebody like Diallo who's willing to take people on, it might just invigorate us. Obviously, I'm not a professional football manager. Ollie knows best, but we've seen it before. Why not try it again? We've got kind of, with Diallo, nothing to lose. It's a no-brainer. But I would start Van der Beek tomorrow night. I don't think he will. I think he'll probably go with McFred again, which will disappoint me. Or he may go with Matic. But I would give Donny Van der Beek a go because he is neat and tidy. And he, along with Bruno and Pogba, could just be the key difference in picking, the lock that Southampton will put across the 18-yard box for us.
Yeah, that's fair. And before we go into the final part of this, please make sure wherever you're watching, go over to YouTube, give the video a like. It really does help us, and we really much appreciate it. We'll just do a quick starting lineup here. Will we all be agreed with De Gea and goals?
Yeah.
Yeah. Right back, AWB. Yeah. Centre backs, Maguire. I'm feeling Lindelof again. There's no really reason to drop him.
I think Bailly, if he's
You
fit.
think Bailly?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
well, that's
Maguire
a big
plays.
if.
I think Maguire plays better with Bailly in the team. My opinion.
Yeah, I would go with Bailly. Lindelof's clearly injured. I remember, and you'll know this, Gary, Fergie had this unique ability to look at injured players, look at players that potentially need a rest or a break, look at the fixtures that are coming up, look at who he's got fit within the squad, and he'd either send them for an op or he'd rest them or he'd send them away somewhere. Yeah, we know you can't go anywhere at the minute, but I think Lindelof, his back injury is really hampering him. It's been hampering him for months, a good 6-7 months, because Lindelof is quite versatile. He can play at right back. He plays at right back for Sweden, so we've got a right back cover for Wan-Bissaka, but he's just not fit enough at the minute.
No.
So sorry to butt in, but
No,
Ollie's got to learn all of this. Management's a big thing, and he's got to start to learn all this. So I would actually go with Bailly, not based on that, but I think Danny Ings is quite quick. Bailly is quick. Che Adams is quite physical, quite strong. So I would go with Bailly.
Fair enough. So Maguire and Bailly tomorrow, and left back Luke Shaw. Yeah.
No
I'll go with
question.
Shaw. Yeah.
No question.
So this isn't the lineup we want. It's the one we're predicting. So what's the argument for? I'm going to go, James. I'm going to go to you. What's your argument for midfield? Who's your midfield three?
Midfield three. I think I want to see us on the front foot, so I only want to play one of McTominay and Fred. I think, as much as I like Matic, I think he's just too slow to sort of go against this Southampton press. So I'll go McTominay and Pogba. I don't see why we should drop Pogba. He's been doing well. Could be a difference maker. And then you stick Fernandes in front of them. If you really wanted to give him a rest, then play Van der Beek. But I don't think he will. So I'll go McTominay, Pogba, Fernandes.
Yeah. Anyone have a different point than that, or are we happy with those three?
I think if it's going in our favour, I think you'll probably bring on Matic for more defensive duties in the midfield area. If it's in our favour, obviously. I think what Ollie's got to get right tomorrow is the substitutions. If he's going to make them at the right time, not 5 minutes from the end.
Yeah. Well,
that's been his problem, I think, in the last few games. He's been bringing on players at the wrong time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's a thing he can say for the past, to entirety of his management. But sorry, Stu, go ahead.
I want to see, I want to see one holding player, whoever that may be it Fred or be it McTominay or Matic. And then I want to see Pogba on the left of him, and I want to see Van der Beek get a start tomorrow on the right.
I'd love to see it.
That's what I want to see.
But will we see it? That's the thing.
Not going to happen. It's not going to happen. I know, but I want. That's what I would like, because I think that will give us quite a good balance to the midfield three.
Cool. We're going to finish before we do our score prediction and first goal scorer. Front three: Greenwood, Cavani, Rashford. That's what I'm saying. Everyone in agreement? I will fight you if you disagree.
Well, yeah.
No,
I disagree then.
What? I've been waiting for this.
I disagree.
Okay, so you actually disagree. So
yeah, I do. I want a single spear in Cavani, and I want Fernandes and Rashford behind him.
Yeah,
that's what I want.
Okay,
and that would really upset Southampton. They won't be expecting that, and that's what football's about. Football's about taking risks. You want to win a title, you've got to do something a little bit different. I mentioned last night we are very, very predictable. We're setting our ways with this front three of whoever it may be. It doesn't, whatever the combination is, we're setting our ways, and I think we've got to go ahead and do something a little bit different tomorrow. And Hassan, he won't be expecting that. It won't happen. He'll go with the front three. I know he will.
Yeah.
But that's what I would like to see.
I'd like to, be dating Margot Robbie, but that's
correct.
Unlikely.
Well, wouldn't we all?
Form a long queue, Joe.
Yeah,
I'll be at the top of it, and I will continue fighting everyone who tries to get in my way. But so we'll go to. I'm going to go around one more time. I'll go to you, Stuart, first. What kind of game are you think we're going to have tomorrow? What do you think the final result will be, and who will be the first goal scorer?
I think it's going to be quite a cagey affair. which goes against really what I would like, because I would like to see us actually come out the traps and absolutely batter Southampton for the first 30, 40 minutes, really batter them. Don't let them get out. Don't give them a rest. But I can't see that. I think it'll be a cagey affair. Final score, I'm going to go for 2-0. I think we'll keep a clean sheet. And I'm going to go for Pogba to score first.
Lovely stuff. That's what you want to see. James, same question for yourself. How are we going to play? First goal score and final result.
I think we'll concede early on, like we did to them at home last season. I just think that's what we do now. If we don't sort of sit off like we do against the big teams, then we seem to just concede early. So I think we'll do that again. I think that hopefully that kicks us into gear, get one before half time, and then nick it late on. So I'll go Stuart Armstrong for the first goal scorer, but for United's first goal scorer, I'll go Cavani, and then 2-1.
2-1. That's my fantasy football. Gareth, for yourself?
Well, I'm going to be different. I was going to go with Stu and say 2-0, but I'm going to say 1-0 after the 65th minute, and it's going to be Cavani with a header.
Okay, that's dead on and sorted. So that's definitely happening. I'm going to say I keep feeling that we will not concede. At home, we seem to concede, but I'm going to go for a clean sheet. I'm going to say 1-0. I'm going to say Cavani with a Bruno assist. And that's just going to be it. So put your money on it, guys. And thanks to everyone who joined us. Please make sure to like the video. Please make sure to share this video around. Appreciate as many views on it as possible. And make sure to like it if I didn't say that already, which I think I did. So thanks so much to the guys here for joining us here tonight. We'll be here on this channel from we're 8:15 tomorrow again. So from about 10 past 7 tomorrow, all the way through till about 11 o'clock, because we'll be here doing the pre-match. During the match, you'll find us on Twitter. We'll be doing live updates, and then after the game, I'll be hosting the post-match reaction with a wonderful couple of gentlemen who can't remember who they are. But make sure to be there. Looking forward to see you all. 3 points are coming. Make sure to love the lads, find them on their Twitters, and spread the joy. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much again, and goodbye.